Welcome to the latest Motley Fool scoreboard. I'm on in Chalk Blue. We've got longtime fools, Dan Caplinger and Toby Bordelon, giving a 1 to 10 rating to the souped up brokerage. It's Interactive Brokers, ticker symbol IBKR. We'll talk about the business first, including industry and competition. It's a competitive space. A 10 is invincible. A 1 is hopeless. Both of you have 8s, Toby.
Yeah, this should be familiar to most of our viewers, probably all investors here. A discount broker, one of the first out there, really offering super low commissions paired with a more basic level of service in a lot of ways. I give this an 8. Like you said, the business is very strong right now. They added new accounts at a record pace in 2024. Revenue growth seems very strong. Trading volumes are up. Customer satisfaction could maybe use a little bit of work, but overall they're doing very well. It is a very competitive industry, but IB appears to be thriving, even as everyone else out there has won up their low commission model, moving toward free commissions on basic trades. So I like what I see here.
Yeah, it's kind of an amazing story, really. I give it an 8 as well. The interface, challenging to say the least. It's a pretty big learning curve to get used to all of its functionality, but even if it's not customer friendly, it does everything that a professional trader would want to do, does it the way that they like, integrates different kinds of investments all under one platform. And I'm surprised. I hadn't watched this one in a while. I was surprised to see the stock has actually doubled over the past year, or doubled last year. And so that's an interesting indication of where we are in the market environment with more people turning to Interactive Brokers.
Vanguard's interface is also challenging, except it's not complex either. It's just challenging. So it's got that. Management. A 10 is Warren Buffett. A 1 is Homer Simpson. Once again, both of you have 8s, Dan.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with success. And board chair Thomas Peterfy, very much outspoken in the industry, talking about the importance of free markets, the importance of free investing. It appeals very much to his loyal customer base. I think that it is also appealing to the new investors who've chosen to go with Interactive Brokers recently as well.
Yeah, this team certainly knows what it's doing. I love that founder Thomas Peterfy is still around, and he takes a very active role as chairman, not just a nominal chairman out there. CEO Milan Galik has served as CEO since 2019. He's been a protege of Mr. Peterfy since he joined the company way back in 1990. The CFO has also been around since 1987, and in his current role in 2003, that's Paul Brody there. Talk about promoting within. That guy's a poster child for that approach, and it's worked out well. Forward-thinking team, focused on continually improving their technology and the offerings. So great, solid crew here.
For financials, a 10 is a fortress, a 1 is yikes. I'm not sure if you all are just copying and pasting and being lazy, but once again, 8s for both of you. Why, Dan?
You know, it's funny. You give me grief every time I reflexively just ding a point off the person who does it. So now I'm equal. It actually says something. I believe in this company. Interactive Brokers definitely has seen growth in commissions, growth in fees, growth in other income sources as well. Good gains in earnings. I think that you kind of have to be aware, ding it a couple of points. Definitely subject to trading volume risk. We have ups and downs in the business cycle and the market cycle, and that does have an impact on Interactive Brokers' financials. But we're in a positive period now, and it seems like there's no end in sight to that.
Yeah, 8 for me too. They're growing revenue from both of their primary sources here. The net interest income has gone up even as the rates remain higher than expected. And they're also growing the commissions and fee income at a very healthy rate here. Bottom line, net income rose over 20% too. The balance sheet looks healthy, good cash levels, no long-term debt, really good financials here.
So far with all those 8s, I'd be buying the stock, but let's see if that holds up. Dan, let's talk valuation. How well will Interactive Brokers stock do over the next 5 years? And how safe is it? A 10 is a sure thing. 1 is a lottery ticket.
I gave Interactive Brokers a 5 to 10% average return over the next 5 years. That's in line with my general market views. We've already seen some big gains in the stock. I'm not so sure that we're going to see, you can't expect another double this year. There's some risk of market weakness ahead. And even as the stock has gone up, it's been prone to 20 to 30% drawdowns along the way. That's why I gave it a safety score of 6. Need to be comfortable with some volatility, even with favorable long-term prospects for the stock.
Yeah, this is where I get a little skeptical too. I also went 5 to 10%. The stock has just performed so well over a short amount of time recently. I'm a little concerned that we're not going to see that continue. I think the company will do well, but probably not as well as we've seen this past year. Probably still a market beater or matcher for the next 5 years, though. On safety, 7 for me. The valuation levels look reasonable, but this will absolutely get hit in a recession, in a stock market downturn.
Time for everyone's favorite topic. Toby, is there a company in interactive broker space you like more?
I like Schwab better, honestly. I think there's more potential margin in their wealth management and advisory businesses, and I think they're a little bit more diversified and well-rounded.
Yeah, I'm a Schwab client as well. I love the company's ability to convince its customers that it doesn't have to offer an automatic sweep option to a option that pays a reasonable interest rate. Kind of like how Interactive Brokers was really first among all to offer reasonable rates both on the savings side and on the margin borrowing side. They still have a market competitive advantage for investors who want to trade on margin using margin loans. Obviously, that can be risky from the investor standpoint, not something that we generally recommend here at the Motley Fool, but from Interactive Brokers business standpoint, it is a positive. Me personally, I tend to look at brokers aren't really where I look to profit from Wall Street. On the investment side, I like big bank like Goldman Sachs. JP Morgan Chase also brings some consumer banking in, not directly comparable to the brokerage space, but there is some exposure there. That's generally where I tend to look.
Thank you to both Dan and to Toby. They've given Interactive Brokers a solid overall score of 7.1 out of 10. Short of that 8.0 that would force me to own shares, but pretty solid. Look out for a new scoreboard every market day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up is Sherwin-Williams. Till then, Fool on. Well, looks like we got our outtake.